Last call for Inside Flight Levels. Please put on your headphones. The episode is about to start.
Hello and welcome to Inside Flight Levels. That's the podcast about flight levels, actually. And today we are in beautiful Fuerteventura, and next to me is Dimitar from Businessmap.
Hello.
Hi, Dimitar. Thank you so much that you are joining our little show here. We are in Fuerteventura, and there is a reason for it. We just finished the Flight Levels Future Lab. You were one of our special guests here. I really appreciate that you showed up. And I mean, I don't know how you feel, but my head is kind of exploding after 2 days and even some nights of like information flow. So it feels like an information overflow. But yeah, I'm kind of happy. So you are the first time at the event, right?
Right.
How did you experience it?
First of all, Klaus, thanks for the invite. It was a real pleasure. And this place, as everyone can see, is awful. This is the worst place on the planet. And as a European, having 22 to 28 degrees Celsius in November is as close to heaven as you get. So really, thank you. About the event, I really enjoyed it. I seriously enjoyed it. There were profound discussions with very smart people. I was in the right room in the sense that I wasn't the smartest person in the room for sure. And I got a lot of insights, a lot of ideas. And that's how I typically benchmark events. Am I getting something at home? And I have a lot of ideas and we'll discuss some of them. So yeah, definitely high quality event. And I enjoyed the exchange with people. They were nice people and you can tell. And what I also appreciate about communities is that are they built by nice people and is it fun to hang out together? So they're all yeses. Good job on that.
Cool. Thanks for this. Yeah. I also kind of like our little community. So it's not like a huge community with thousands of people. Maybe let's see. Maybe we even don't want this because I kind of like it to have the right people in the community. So where you can have good conversations, where you can rely on them. So this is kind of, it has value for us.
For sure.
Really happy that you joined the event. So one question that popped up in my mind, why do you think it's important for Businessmap to be at an event like the Flight Levels Future Lab?
I will answer the question, but I want to start with a story. And the story is why and how we started Businessmap. So I will not bore you to death, I hope, but the story is the following. 2010 or 2009, 2010, I'm working for the second largest German company, Software AG. Software AG.
Software AG, yes.
Yes. And at that point, the company is doing mostly waterfall, releasing software every 2-3 years. And they start to sense the need for more agile delivery. Why? Because customers want something and they have to wait for it for 3 years. Product managers fight with each other because they want to make sure the feature they promised to so many customers will make it into the release. Not ideal, right?
Yeah.
So there's a new SVP, Christopher Roland, a great guy. I learned from him a lot. He comes in and he transforms the company to agile deliveries. Throughout this process, I and a dozen other people will get trained on Lean and Kanban and Agile and Scrum and whatnot. And I realize that I'm lacking visibility what's going on above the user story level. And by the way, we were delivering in six months into it, we were delivering 2 or 3 times more user stories.
Okay.
And we're thinking, we got this.
Rocket.
And then the feedback from the business is, why are you guys so slow? And then something,
I know this story.
right? And I tried to do with Jira me and a bunch of colleagues who were using Jira, we tried to see the feature level and we couldn't. And we had to dig into the database of Jira for, 2-3 weeks to build a view of what happens on the feature level,
Yeah.
not on the story level.
Yeah.
And for a company that delivered 300 features every 2-3 years, it turned out that we had the modest number of 1,000 features in progress,
Just to make sure.
which is like 3 releases worth of work, 2-3 years each. So we kind of had 10 years worth of work in progress, and nobody had a freaking idea about it. That was
crazy.
The most troublesome piece for me. Nobody had any idea that this was going on. And then I thought, okay, we need to build a tool around this. So we built Businessmap. I offered it to Software AG to use it.
Yeah.
They didn't get it because it was too small, too risky at this time.
Okay.
But I said, okay, I'll start a company around this. So we actually started Businessmap because we were lacking Flight Level 2 information in this company. So we're kind of connected. And I think we're destined to do something great together. And that's why I'm here. That's why I accepted the invite. I know it was a long answer. Sorry, guys. But
no,
we have always been very much aligned with this type of thinking.
Yeah.
And that we need different layers in organization in terms of what we manage at this layer. And it feels like home, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, my story is similar, only that I was not working like for software company, and it wasn't I was creating a software around it, but the concept was exactly the same. So there was this situation where I had to agilize more than 340 teams, everything on the team level, like you said, user stories, tasks. And I was like, no, that's not a good idea. We need to zoom out a little bit. So this is kind of where our views connected. This is kind of the Flight Level 2. You know, in the beginning, there was only 2 flight levels. There was Flight Level 1 and Flight Level 2. The rest came later. But that's really cool. And
it came later for me as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Once I became the CEO of a company, and it was my first time being a business owner, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, 5 years into it, I realized that Flight Level 3, and honestly, I didn't know I would call it Flight Level 3 further down the line, but I realized that it's not even about features or project or whatever. It's how they attach to what you actually want to achieve as a company. And that's how I started expanding Businessmap. Our name was Kanbanized, right?
Yeah.
But it became Businessmap because we kept expanding it in the sense of how do I manage the strategy of the company. So I felt Flight Level 3 myself too.
Yeah, and different things are important. So while on Flight Level 2, you try to establish flow across teams, across the company. Flow, I mean, it's not so much of a topic on the Flight Level 3. It's more a great information radiator where you really can take good decisions in the end, good business decisions. That's what it's about. Yeah.
One last thing on this. When we released Businessmap and Kanbanized, our idea was, okay, we will build Kanban systems at every layer of the organization.
Yeah.
We will connect those systems together and everything will work. But what you say is real. I mean, on Flight Level 3, flow is not such an important factor.
Yeah.
It is probably nice to have, but most of the executives, if not all, that I talked to, they said, why do I need to keep my initiatives and my goals into a workflow? It doesn't feel natural to me. And it took us a while, but that's why we actually moved into a more flexible and fluid type of visualization with our latest release around the AI canvas, on which you can build exactly what you want, exactly as you want it.
Yeah.
When you use this yourself and when you think yourself about these ideas, good things happen out of it.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw this canvas, that was really the moment where I thought, oh, wow, Businessmap is the one and only tool who is able to support all three flight levels. So we have the strategy, we have coordination, we have the team level, plus with the canvas, you can also do something like a flight level systems architecture. So you can also like come up with an overview of what are actually our flight level 1, 2, and 3 systems. Right. How are they connected? How does work flow across these systems? And yeah, this is where our partnership, became real in the end, right?
Because it became visible.
It became visible. Yeah. I mean, we know each other for quite a long time. We were just like trying to figure out, I guess it was 2014 or so, something around this. Yeah. So we know each other for quite a long time, but now it somehow, I don't know. It's so natural that it fits together. Yeah. That's really cool, actually. And the cool thing is, even at the event, at the Flight Levels Future Lab, there were some topics around Businessmap and flight levels, and we could somehow see it in action as well. I mean, if I go back to the event, there was one session which I really liked a lot. This was exactly the session where, it was showcased how these two things could work together. It was done by Mike Freislich from South Africa. And the cool thing is, he just started a couple of days before he was showing it.
Yeah, he said Thursday.
And it was like, on a Wednesday, Tuesday, or something like this. Yeah. So a couple of days later, and it was really amazing to see what he came up with. So you could see something like a flight level systems architecture, quite lightweight visualization of it. And then how, all the work systems somehow connected together. So this was the first time where I saw it in action in such a short period of time. So it doesn't take, I don't know, months or whatever to set up something like this in Businessmap. He was doing it in a couple of days, and he also incorporated the feedback of the people around it. Correct. So it was not his mastermind idea. So I was really, totally blown away by this session.
I was very impressed with what Mike has done, and I think it reiterates why Businessmap and Flight Levels goes so well and so naturally with one another, because you have a capable tool, right? Okay, we have a capable tool, but what Mike was able to do with it was, I think, to me, was the most impressive thing, because he obviously knew how to plug all the different pieces together, to just connect them together. And it's not always like that. Okay, sometimes people get Businessmap, and to be honest, they don't know what to do with it. And that's why I'm so excited about the Flight Levels community, because we think very much alike. And when the consultants and the coaches, when they work with a customer, they can build a solution like this, and then you see it, and then you get, wow, okay, I can see my work now. I can see how it's all connected. I can see my dependencies. I can see my bottlenecks. I can see it. And I was really also very, very much inspired by this session. And Matthias Tolkien's session also.
Yes.
He showcased an industrial implementation of the flight levels, mainly flight levels too, but it was a very, very robust implementation with dozens of project stages and how we go across them. It was awesome. It was very nice.
So it feels like there's always like this missing link. So it for me, it's like Businessmap fills a missing link in Flight Level. So in Flight Level, we can design all these great work systems so that you really see all the bottlenecks, and we can manage the work like from strategy to action. We have all these great information, but in the end, you end up in a digital whiteboard or on sticky notes or so, and we always get the question, okay, how can we make this real in our company? So what tool can you suggest? And we were only able to say, okay, on flight level 2, this and that tool could be okay. On flight level 1, there's many tools, but everything together, so we didn't have an answer. So this was kind of the missing link when we are doing flight levels consulting, which is actually cool.
It's quite cool to me, and first because it's a recognition that our software and the way we thought about managing work is appreciated. So I I like that a lot for sure. but it's also a missing link for us, because it's not very easy to change how a company manages work at scale. And you guys are the experts at this, so it's an obvious symbiosis in synergy between what we both do.
That's somehow really cool. Yeah, I mean, I also experienced, I mean, that's actually the reason why Flight Levels exist, because I experienced this. So back then I was in Kanban land. So I was doing quite a lot of Kanban, and I got invited to a company and they were like, okay, we want Kanban. So the first question we had to answer is not like, okay, how do we set up a tool, or I don't know, or how does the Kanban board look like? The very first question is always like, okay, what systems do we actually need?
Yeah.
Right. So it sounds so obvious, but it's not, because many organizations fall into the trap that they are trying to make boards for the org chart. So they take the org chart. And then they're like, okay, here we have teams. These teams, they get a team board. Here we have some departments or groups or whatever. They get a group board. And then you build basically boards around the org chart. But that's not flow. This is just like a manifestation of the organizational structure. And yeah, I mean, this is where Flight Levels came in, and then where we tried to find a language, kind of like the work systems topology, which is like, it describes a network of work systems in your organization. And I think having this information, then setting a business map is like, okay, now we just know what you do. We know how to connect
this is the heavy lifting part, for sure.
Yeah, how the work flows. Yeah.
This stuff is, I mean, it looks
I don't think
easy,
it's the
but
heavy
it's
lift.
complex.
It is complex, yes, but it's not the heavy lifting. So that I mean, yes, but it's not rocket science. That's what I want to say. So
I didn't mean that.
There is information around it.
In order to see it, the harder thing is to actually conceptualize what you want. Then building it is easy,
because then it's just natural. And I think that's what I got out from Mike's session. So it felt, I mean, in days. Right? So it felt just like, okay, that's what we're going to do. So let's just do it. And Businessmap has the ability that if you have this idea, that you can just like realize it, and then it's there. So it's really, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, he did mention that he really tried to do it with their previous tool.
Yeah.
And it couldn't bend itself around those ideas. And that's why I started with the story, how Businessmap was conceived, because if software is not meant to be something, you can try and squeeze it and whatnot, but it's just difficult to do it unless it was meant to do something.
Yeah. Cool. So this was kind of one of my highlight sessions at the Flight Levels Future Lab. So, I mean, you also said that you could relate to the session. But was there another session where you were like, okay, this is kind of, I don't know, inspired me, maybe even put into Businessmap in the future?
For sure. For sure. This was the human and AI agents collaboration topic.
Philip. Yeah.
It was a very interesting topic for me, very interesting. First, because it goes into tooling quite naturally.
Yeah.
Right. So if you have humans and AI agents collaborating, how do they interact? Who gives the tasks to who or whatever?
Yeah.
It's natural tooling related question or topic. So I got hooked on it from the very beginning. But what was insightful for me were discussions around, are AI agents just helpers to humans, or are they like real contributors?
Yeah.
And then someone said, I forgot who it was. He said, yeah, but humans are also helpers. And then gave the example, like the junior is a helper to the senior.
Yeah.
The employee is a helper to the manager is a helper to the executive, so on and so forth, which was an interesting perspective. I hadn't thought about it from this angle. And I think we will see the evolution of workflows. And to me, the workflow is the central piece to process. Okay. So if you have a process, there has to be workflow somewhere. And I think AI will become mainstream where it becomes part of the workflows of the organization. And in that regard, I think agents will find their place in the workflows. And I see 3 different workflows occurring or evolving. One is completely human workflows, one is completely AI workflows, and one is hybrid, humans and AIs. I think human workflows, like 100% of human workflows, will go extinct if they haven't already. Just because everybody's using AI on the site.
Yes.
And it may not be formally part of the process, but everybody's doing it.
Yeah, because I, as a human, use AI. That's what you mean, right? Yeah.
Right. So human workflows will go extinct if they haven't. AI workflows will probably occur, but I haven't seen them already. I mean, have you? Like completely independent AI agents doing whatever.
I mean, that's kind of my, not critique, but my observation of the current AI movement. So if we translate it to flight levels, lingua, we are probably at flight level 0 because, but it's the individual, right? So I'm getting better in writing emails. I'm getting better in coding. I'm getting better in summarizing meetings. So me as an individual, maybe I'm getting better as prioritizing things. Yeah, this sounds like flight level 2, maybe even flight level 3-ish. Maybe I'm getting better in crafting a strategy, but still, it's always me getting better.
Yeah.
So, if it's really like operating on flight level 3, for instance, I can imagine an agent which observes what we are doing, which observes what the world is doing, what our competitors are doing, what are political decisions. And then out of a sudden, the agent says, you guys, you should stop working on this one. You should add more funding to this initiative, and this outcome you need to change because
and then it's
of
part of
everything.
It's part of the workflow, right?
Yes,
this
exactly.
Is part
it's
of the workflow. It's part of the process.
Yes. And it's not helping, of course, it's again helping humans, but it's really the whole process of taking the decision and guiding the decisions based on observations, and it's triggered automatically, not me telling you, give me a strategy or whatever.
This is where I'm going with the workflows thing. And that's why I think the hybrid workflow will prevail.
Yeah.
And it will be the standard moving forward, maybe in the next 3-5 years. Who knows? I don't know. But where you actually put your AI agents into the process, into the workflow, and they interact with the humans, I think that's where we're going.
Yeah.
And it crystallized to me that Businessmap as a tool can facilitate this. And I had some ideas, of course, and I've spent many sleepless nights to think about AI.
Yeah.
But this discussion really helped me to see for real how we could do it.
Yeah.
And I have some great ideas. And maybe we'll see something in 13.0, our next major release in the first half of next year. That's heavily influenced by this discussion. So I really got something out of it. This hybrid model will definitely prevail, and we need to invest in it.
Honestly, I would love to be in the tools business these days. I mean, with a tool like Businessmap, you really have a lot of information, right? So there is about the work actually. And if you combine this with like general world views and everything, especially on flight level 3, I can only imagine what's possible there.
Yeah.
It's really, it's really
and
cool.
It's a nice segue to what I wanted to cover today is what our future plans are.
Yeah.
And it definitely around AI for sure. Not just AI, but a lot around AI. We're going to add support for wikis and documents, Businessmap, just because we need this as part of our AI strategy to be able to contain this knowledge we're talking about, and then feed it to the AI and give it context.
Yeah.
Context is king, obviously. People who would know, even for AI, context is king.
Surprise.
Right. So we're releasing docs, we're releasing wikis, and we will focus a lot on data insights. Exactly what you talked about. I actually got inspired by your article about AI being flight level 0 and the types of questions that AI should answer. This is exactly where we're going. And I'm very excited by what I've seen already in terms of MVP and demos internally. Still some way to go into production, but seeing what's possible was just mind blowing. It's just mind blowing.
So the future will be exciting for
For sure.
Businessmap. That sounds
What
cool.
about you guys at Flight Levels? Where are you thinking in terms of future?
Yeah, I mean, AI is of course a topic. Yeah, and yeah, I also spoiled it already a little bit. So I'm not so much thinking of this flight level zero. So I don't want to introduce a flight level zero and say, okay, that's AI. No, we need to get, like, when it comes to work system design, integrate AI. I guess this hybrid workflow, what you were talking about. So I can imagine that there will be like AI as stakeholders in a flow, like defining these interfaces. And so, yeah, like from a modeling perspective, we need to understand what this actually means. Yeah, is it just a regular stakeholder? Is it a different stakeholder? So this is currently where we are thinking a lot about how to integrate AI, but not in a way like, okay, the AI product owner certificate or so. I mean, that's
No, please.
boring.
No.
That's not.
I think the other direction is much more interesting.
Yeah. So like really how to get it part of your work system design. That's because I think like this whole personal productivity kind of thing. So many people are dealing with this these days. I think this is kind of like, I don't know, like in the beginning when there was the internet in Germany, you could do the, I don't know, Computerführerschein, which is like a computer driver's license. Yeah. So
we
this
had
is,
that.
yeah.
Sure.
So this is kind of this basic stuff. I think we're through with it quite soon. So this is a wave of some things now. But then the real stuff is kicking in, and we want to prepare for the real stuff. If this makes sense.
Yeah, I may be repeating myself, but I really think the ones who will win with AI are the ones who can integrate it on a process level, on a workflow level, and not, as you said, on a personal level. Personal level is table stakes already.
Yes,
everybody's doing it, but
that is true.
When we get it to be repeatably, predictably consistent, then things can get really beautiful.
Yes. Cool. Yeah. What else do we want to talk about, dear Dimitar?
I think the topic about the future was good, and I'm eager to share with our listeners and viewers and watchers what we've been thinking about.
There will be more going on in the future.
More collaboration for sure. One of the things that I'm really excited about is the next Flight Levels Day that we decided to run together to showcase case studies from both the Flight Levels Club and the Businessmap Club, and the both of them working together, which is even more interesting.
I was heavily inspired when Mike Freislich had his session, and then we were talking about, okay, let's do something like this at the conference, because I think that's really valuable.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I think a lot of people will be surprised by the clarity that you can get.
Yeah.
After a week or less than a week of work with somebody who knows what they're doing. And the next one is we're planning an event in Brazil, a beautiful country, one of my favorite countries in the world. So
with beautiful weather.
Yeah, they also have it, by the way, and many other beautiful things as well. Yeah, like this great statue of Christ. This is the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen. Anyway, off topic. So we're going together to Brazil, most likely in May. So first half of the year, we're organizing the event where you can meet Klaus and myself if you want to. We will share many case studies from Brazil with our clients from Brazil, with flight level coaches from Brazil, and of course all over the world. So you're all invited. I couldn't be more excited and happier to hear Klaus's keynote. He maybe doesn't know yet, but
good you tell me.
Just having the opening keynote. And Klaus, I'm not trying to flatter you, all right? But your keynotes are one of the most beautiful ones I've seen, because you're able to distill complex things into simple terms.
I'm simple-minded.
I'm simple-minded too. Maybe that's why I like what you do. But perfection is where you can't get anything out of it anymore, right? And we have so many speeches with fancy words and sophisticated terms and whatnot. You do it just perfectly well. So
Thank you so much. I don't
thanks
have the
for
fancy
coming to
words.
Brazil. I'm sure the people will appreciate it.
Looking very much forward to it. Yeah, Brazil in May sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Cool, Dimitar. Thank you so much for your time.
It was
Here.
my pleasure, absolutely my pleasure, and thank you for inviting me here at your house in Fuerteventura. It's amazing.
Perfect, cool. Yeah, that's it for this episode. So if you have any questions or so, write us a letter and send it with the post. No, email inside@flightlevels.io if you have any suggestions, if you have feedback, and we would love to see a 5-star rating from you if you think, there was some value in it. Cool. That's it. Thanks, Dimitar. And let's go to the beach now. Are you ready?
I am. See you guys. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Inside Flight Levels has landed. Thank you for listening. Please leave a 5-star rating, share with fellow passengers, and subscribe for the next journey.